Trailing stop loss, you ask? You've come to the right place. Hi everyone, I'm Victor, and I'm going to be showing you on how to set a trailing stop loss on Webull. I'll be going over three things. So the first thing will be on what is a trailing stop loss. The second thing will be on how to place a trailing stop loss. And the third thing will be when to place a trailing stop loss, aka basically strategies for when to place a trailing stop loss. So Webull didn't have this feature in the past, so I'm really excited that they finally have added it. This is the desktop version 4, by the way, which is the most updated version. Okay, so an easy way to explain what a trailing stop loss is to basically compare a trailing stop loss to a live and constantly adjusting stop loss order. Basically, you're uncapping your potential profits while also capping your potential loss or profit loss, if that makes sense. If not, no worries. I got an even easier way to explain it to you, which would be to kind of show you what a trailing stop loss is and to provide you a visual on how you use it or how you look at it on a chart. So in my stop loss video, which you should check out, by the way, if you haven't, I show that a stop loss and take profit order are like setting up parallel lines on your chart. So let me real quick. So for instance, right, if I'm setting a stop loss or take profit order, it would kind of look like this, right? Two parallel horizontal lines. It's a little hard to see. Let me change the colors to make it red and kind of make them big lines. If you're curious on how I'm doing this or like how do I even like do these lines, let me know. I can totally do a video on that. So this is an example of a take profit stop loss order, right? Now you notice how it's parallel but horizontal. Now imagine this. What if, let me remove these, I can take those two same parallel lines and instead of making them horizontal, I can make them parallel. Just like this, parallel but diagonal. Cool, right? Now this is a really bad example. Let me show you on a really good one that just happened today, which was SPCE. Okay, so for this example, we're going to assume that let's say we started the market, right? So this kind of shaded area shows that this was pre-market, and this area shows that it was market open. So market open, right? Let's say I bought a share right here at $50, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's going up a lot. I don't know when to set profits or when to set a stop loss, or like it just keeps going up. Like, when do I know? So if you don't really have a clear strategy or know when you want to sell, a really good opportunity to use is trailing stop loss. So let's say, for instance, I set a trailing stop loss, right? Essentially, I'm setting uncapped gains, potential gains. And so to kind of explain it would be, so two parallel lines that are diagonal and moving up. And so the way this works is that because I'm setting a trailing stop loss and I'm saying that at a 10% move down or 5% move down or $1 move down, then I will sell from the highest point that the price has reached. So let's just say right here at 9:45, right, it's at $53, and I'm saying, well, if unless it goes down $1 from its highest point, which is $53 at this time point, I won't sell. So you notice how it does go down, right? But it doesn't go down a lot. It only goes down maybe like 50 cents. Now I still haven't triggered my sell order yet because it's a trailing stop loss. So until it reaches $52, since the highest point was 53, it won't sell. But notice how it went back up, right? Imagine I had placed a stop loss at 52.5. I would have sold and only made like 50 cents, right, on one order. But notice I kept going up and I reached over here to 54.3, and it went down again, but it only went down maybe about like 30 cents, and then it went back up and it just non-stop kept climbing, right? And if you look at these parallel lines, which basically a stop loss order kind of sets you on, it never quite passed that line and it never broke through, which meant I never sold. Okay, and then notice how it reaches here straight to the top at 58.34, and then boom, I got a big Shrek red candle down, and it broke, right? Because I set a dollar cap at 57.34, I sold. right? Because it broke through that line, the kind of visual I provided, and I sold. Now imagine I put a stop loss or a take profit. I might have put it like maybe at like 55 and then the stop loss at like 53.5 just to make sure I'm, securing profits. But because it kept going up, I would have not been able to gain that potential gain. And because I set a stop loss order, I was able to reach all the way to the top. And then of course I didn't sell right at the top, but it sold pretty much near the top. And it saved me from selling this big down motion, right? Because let's say when I reached here, I was like, all right, let's go like 55 stop loss. It would have sold all the way down here instead of selling right here. So I hope this kind of helps provide you a visual on setting a stop loss. Of course, when you set it, they're not going to provide you all this. You just have to kind of think about it yourself. But this visual and thinking about it really helped me understand what a trailing stop loss is and how to use a trailing stop loss. And I don't know, I thought this was a pretty cool way of showing it. No one's ever showed it to me like this, so I hope this helped you. So I just want to say that I think trailing stop losses are really important for stocks that go on massive runs like this. It's also really helpful for day trading or swing trading or people that just can't look at the screen all day. I'd also like to remind everyone that a trailing stop loss order, just like a regular stop loss order, only can trigger or can only activate or work during market hours. So if it's pre-market or if it's after hours for the market, it won't trigger. Just making sure you guys know that. So once again, to recap, when you set a trailing stop loss order, you're uncapping potential gains, right? Just because it kept going up and going up. And if it kept going up, my order would have not sold and it would have kept going up with it. But once it finally breaks the point where you would set a trailing stop loss, then you would secure profits. Now, how to set a trailing stop loss. So let's imagine I made an order, right? So this is the order book on Webull. Know that your setup or your customization will look differently depending on how you have it set up. I usually have this on the side right here. But notice over here, we go over to order, right? Order type. I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna move it down to trailing stop. Now notice, let me make this a little bit bigger. Boom. See how it says trailing amount and it says this $sign right here. So now I'm gonna put $1. So just like my previous example when I was saying $1, basically until it reaches $1 lower than the current highest market price, I won't sell. Now a really cool thing too is that let's just say you're not really sure what dollar amount to put, or you're based off more of a percentage kind of person. You can also do percentage too. Now the amount of percentage really depends on the stock, how much the price is, and then of course how much it moves. Generally speaking, a safe trailing stop once you're somewhat deep in the profits would be anywhere from 2.5% to about 3 or 4%. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can do 5%. I would never generally do more than 5% though. The 5% drop is kind of a lot, and I've seen people do like 1 to 1.5. So I'll just say for instance 1.5%, right? And I guess we will automatically round it up to 2%. So until a 2% move, so were to activate from 58, it won't sell. Obviously right now it's after hours, so it's not market open, so I can't exactly show you how it looks, but you would basically click on, let me put in my password, and then you would place order, and so you'd buy it, and then of course set the trailing stop loss. Now let's say you already had a position, right? No problem, you would go to the position, right, and you clicked it, and then you could set close position, and it would look exactly like this, except boom, it'll look exactly like this. And so how this works is that when you press the place order button, it will execute that trailing stop loss order, and so it won't sell until you trail down the percentage amount you put or the dollar amount you put. So hopefully that makes sense. And the cool thing is once you place it, you don't have to worry, right? So notice how it says right here, available trading hours for trailing stop loss orders are only available from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific. It's not Pacific, Eastern time. So obviously I can't place it now, but once you place it, normally it would just execute, and you don't have to worry about it at all. And once that trailing stop loss is hit, it will then execute the trade for you. Once again, if you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and if you have any requests on any specific wants or needs, please let me know in the comments too. I read all the comments and really appreciate the time you guys put on leaving comments. It means a lot to me. Be sure to check out my other investment videos on YouTube, my YouTube channel, such as on how to set a stop loss, which is also very important. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you see it. People really liked it, so made me kind of happy, not gonna lie. And also check out my referral link for Webull in the description. Happy trading.